Yes.
Hey, what do you mean by a self-paced course?
Well, the course material is available in the form of video lectures. And there are multiple practice problems that come along as well. So, you can access all of it anywhere, anytime. And they are available to you for lifetime.
No way.
Oh, yes, way. Don't delay and enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hey geeks, Akshay this side. We are again with a session live mock interview number 14. And before me starting with the introduction of a guest and a mentor, I would like to interact with you guys. So please drop in some comments. 12 people are live. At least one hi I'm expecting. Guys, come on. I'm waiting. Still waiting. No, not even. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you. Hi. So I hope everyone is safe at home, staying at home. वैक्सीनेशन के लिए रजिस्टर करना शुरू कर दिया होगा सबने. सर रिमाइंडर मैं दे रहा हूँ, कर देना शुरू. मुझे खुद करना है वैसे. हाय राहुल, हाय तन्वी, हाय सनी, हाय श्री सरन, हाय कल्प. Hey guys. Okay, hi Anmol. Awesome. So many people have come and they're interacting as well. You guys are interacting, and that's the best part about you. Like, or today, this whole live mock interview is about SD one round. Okay, so I want you guys to focus on the questions which the mentor will ask the student, and also try to solve it under the time pressure as the student is solving, and you can discuss the same in the comments and engage with each other. That's the beauty of these sessions. You just feel how it is. रियल टाइम में कैसा होगा वो तुम अभी देखो, फील करो, तो प्रैक्टिस होती रहेगी टाइम के अंदर. टाइम प्रेशर में कैसे करना है. सो दैट्स द प्लान. हे ऋतिक, हे साई प्रसाद, थैंक यू. या सनी, थैंक्स. All right, so let me introduce the student first. So his name is Anurag Chaudhary, and he's in his final year, and he's from college Rajki Engineering College, Azamgarh. Okay, and you already know about the mentor. His name is Dhananjay, and he is in-house mentor at Geeks for Geeks. He has 4 years of CP programming, competitive programming experience, and his code force rank is 1870. So I am really excited about the session. I can invite them and start. Nikita, if you have a question, you drop in the comment. I'll see if it can be solved. Okay. So let's start, guys. I'm inviting Dhananjay and Anurag to the stream. Nuns, I know. You are also live. You're also live. You watch, like you can watch whatever you feel. Okay. Hi, Dhananjay. Hi, Anurag.
Hi, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So, Anurag, are you all set to go through
Yes,
the?
sir.
All right, great. So I'll remove myself from the stream, and Dhananjay, you can take a lead from here. Okay, I'll be adding the question in the banner as we move on.
Oh, great, sir.
Okay. All right. Carry on, guys.
Hello,
Hello,
sir.
Anurag. Hello. How are you?
I'm good, sir.
I hope your day was pretty much good. And like, what all did you did in your? How was the day today before this interview session?
Sir, day was very fine. I I was waiting for the interview only.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So let's begin, right? So
Yes.
Anurag, I saw from your resume, I can see from your resume that you have basically worked on various tech stacks and you have a bit knowledge about DSA, a sound knowledge of DSA.
Yes.
Okay, so how will you rate yourself from on a scale of 10 in DSA?
Sir, I would rate myself 7 out of 10.
Okay, so 7 I think will be a good scale for asking you some DSA questions and beginning with that. Okay, so yeah, so let's begin with our first question. Have you ever heard about the next greater element problem? That we are given an array and we have to find the next greatest element for each and every element.
Uh, I think I have solved it.
Okay, so as you said that you have solved this problem. Let us bring some twist in this problem. Okay, so
Yes.
in the previous problem that I asked, so the array was normal, a linear array, right? In this
Yes, sir.
case, I'm giving you a circular array. So in this
Yes.
circular array, you have to find the largest next greater element in that circular array, right? I hope you
Yes, sir.
understood the problem. So how will you approach that?
Yes, sir.
If you want any test case, I can provide it to you for your better understanding.
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, I'll share my whiteboard with you. Right. So, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what does circular array mean? So, basically, if I'm providing you an array, let us suppose the elements are 4, 1, 2, maybe 1 again, and 3 and 1, right? So,
Yes.
for 4, the next getter element will be nothing. So, it will be -1. For 1, the next getter element will be 2. For 2, next getter element will be 3. For 1 also, next getter element will be 3. But for 3, if this array would have not been circular, so it would have been -1. But it is circular array. So for 3, the next getter element will be 4, right? Because it is circular.
Yes, sir.
So the answer will be 4. Similarly, for 1, the answer will be 4. So I hope you are understanding this better now. So how will
Yes,
you approach?
sir. We will. Sir, two loops will be required. Uh,
Okay.
in the first loop, we will iterate through the array uh,
Okay.
one by one, and then in uh, in the second loop we will check that the array the other check with other elements also of the array that are left behind.
Okay. So basically, you are saying that you will be using. Is my voice echoing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. Uh, I hope it's better now. Yeah. So basically, you are trying to say that in the first loop, you will be picking each and every element, and in the second loop, you will be checking for that element the next getter, right? But in this
Yes,
case, the array is circular. So how will you check for this, right? For this 3, how will you be checking the next getter is 4?
sir. So we will check that if our that the index is till the index just before our current index, like
Can you explain me a
uh,
bit more because
like if we are at first index, then we will check at like we are at n index, we will check at uh, the last, like we are at zeroth.
okay, so I shared my screen with you.
Yes, sir. Like we are at 4, then we will check till last element, that is 1, uh, el- this one.
Okay, so
And
okay, that part is clear. Now, if I'm
yes,
standing, so if
at
suppose if you're checking
1,
for 3, so how will you check for 3?
we will check till the previous element, like 1, not the that one, that previous one, where
Okay.
3. Yes, sir, till here we will
So
check.
how will you check the circular property of this array? Because once you're pointing, your first loop pointer will be
Ye-
here. So
yes, sir.
your second loop pointer, if you're not considering the array, so it will be ending here, right? So how will you check that you will be using the property of circular array?
Yes, sir. Sir, we can use divide and conquer method,
How?
like you like dividing the array from the current element to like if we are in 3, then we will divide like that part from 4 to
Okay.
1, and then
Okay.
1.
So I'll tell you that this approach will not work, right?
Yes,
It's
sir.
not sounding any logical because it won't work, right? So how would you solve if the array was not circular? How would you have found the next getter element if this array was not circular?
So one by one,
Any
iterating.
better approach? Any better approach? So basically, you use stack for finding the next getter element, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Recursively, then we will do if
now,
we are.
like basically, you would have used stack, right, to
Yes,
find the next getter element if the array was not circular, right? Because you would have started putting element. I hope my screen is visible, right? So because in the end,
yes,
you have started putting element from the last. That is, in this case, the last element would be 1, and
one.
when you will moving 3, you will be checking the top of the stack whether that element is greater than 1 or not. If not, then you would have been popped this element, and you would have
Yes.
if the stack was empty, then you would have put -1 for this element, right? For if
Yes, sir.
1, and then you would have put 3 here. So
Yes,
next
sir.
you would have moved to 1 because we are iterating from the right side, right? For 1, you would have
Yes, sir.
checked the top of the stack. This time it is 3, and 3 is greater than 1, so you would have put 3, right?
Yes,
Now
sir.
in this case the array is not in this case the array is not circular, but the question I've given to you, in that the array was circular. So how will you do that using stack?
So then Q can do
No.
circular
Okay.
queue.
Okay, Anurag, I think that you're not able to reach to that final answer. So I will tell you the solution, right? So in this case, we iterated from the last, right?
Yes, sir.
So basically, in this, initially we only put the last element, but in the case of circular, we would have put all the elements from the end, right? And then we started checking from again from 1, right? Because it will be checking in this manner. Once putting all the element from the last in the stack, then we can check the circular property of the array, right? So after
Yes,
this
sir.
interview, you can check and check the solution for this problem, right? It is
Yes,
available
sir.
on Geeks for Geeks, so you
Yes,
can
sir.
check that and you can submit also in the practice portal.
Okay,
So
sir.
okay, so we'll be moving to the next problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, how good you are with graphs and all, like basic traversal and all?
Yeah, basics around.
Okay, so I'll give you a problem, right? So basically, I'm giving you a directed acyclic graph. You know what is directed acyclic graph?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically, I'll be giving a directed acyclic graph, and you have to find the minimum number of nodes that you will be needing to cover all the other vertices. For example, in this case, you will be needing only 0 and 3 for covering all the other vertices. How? Because if you start from 0, you can reach to 1, then you can from 0 you can reach to 2, from 2 you can reach to 5,
Yes, sir.
right? So
Yes.
and now from 3 you can reach to 4 and 5. So only 0 and 3 nodes are required to cover all the other vertices.
Okay, sir.
And in this case also, from 0 you will reach to 1, from 1 you will reach to 4. Okay,
Yes, sir.
then you will pick the node 2, 2 to 1, 2 to 4, right? Similarly from 3. So the answer in this case will be 0 and 3, and the answer in this case will be 0, 2 and 3,
0
right?
to N.
Okay, so how will you do that?
Sir, so we will apply DFS.
Okay,
We will.
Anurag, take a deep breath. Don't be
Yes, sir.
nervous.
Yes, sir.
Okay, take a deep breath and just think. And if it's okay, you are not able to answer, I'll provide you hints and maybe you can answer them.
Yes, sir.
So this is the question. So I'll be giving you the adjacency matrix or the adjacency list, right, for the graph.
Yes,
So
sir.
how will you do that? Just tell me the approach, like what is coming into your mind to find the answer.
Uh, Sir, we will go one by one and check the best solution to reach
Uh,
the final our source node.
so suppose if you have picked, for instance, suppose you have picked 2, right? So how will you check whether it is the possible answer or not?
So if we have picked two, then uh, we will check that the 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 weight. If there is a weight, then uh, that uh, the that that there is algorithm uh, uh, which our digestra algorithm there is there, which checks that if we are going that from single source to all the places, we will check that if our that the distance is minimum or not
Okay, so
from
I didn't tell you to find the minimum distance, right? I just needed the count of the minimum number of nodes that will be required to cover all the other vertices, right? So you cannot use Digistraj here.
minimum.
Okay, so I'll provide you a hint, right? Do you know about in degree and out degrees?
No, sir.
Okay, relax down, calm down. Okay. Do you know about what is in degree in a graph? What is the degree of a node in a graph?
Sir, the sir, that the distance, sir, require it the depth from the root.
No. Okay, so I will tell you what is degree, right? So degree is the number of nodes attached to that particular node, the number of adjacent nodes. For example, for 0, the degree is 2, right? Because 1 and 2 are connected.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, so I think that if you have no idea about in degrees and out degrees, so I think that you won't be able to reach the final solution. But okay, if I tell you that you have in degree means the number of nodes coming to that. Suppose, for example, it has one edge coming to itself, right? That is 3. So its in degree is 1. Similarly,
Yes,
for 2, its in degree is 2 because this one and this one will contribute to its in degree, right?
yes, sir.
So it will be its in degree will 2. So can you now think of in terms of in degree? So can you think that you will be picking all those nodes whose in degree will be 0 because you won't be able to reach, suppose you won't be able to reach that node if its in degree is 0. For example, let's say 1. If from 1, if its in degree was 0, then you won't be able to reach 1 anyhow.
Yes, sir.
Right? So now can you think the answer?
Sir, we can.
Okay, no issues. So the answer to is that we will be checking for each and every node. It's the in degree, right? So if an in degree of a node is 0, then it will be an answer because as I told you that if the in degree of a node is 0, then we can't reach that node,
Yes, sir.
right? So for example, 0's in degree is 0,
Yes, sir.
then so from and all other nodes have in degrees, right? So we can
Yes,
reach that other node somehow, but we can't reach 0. So we have to visit 0. It's compulsory. Similarly for 3 also, right? So this is how we can use in degree concept of in degrees and out degrees. I hope that you have learned this concept from this interview, and this is because these mock interviews are connected, right? So you can
yes,
improve your shortcomings, right? So no
yes.
issues. Okay, so I will ask you a next question. Okay, so my next question to you is okay. Hmm, I will provide you a next question for that. So, do you know about like the binary representation of a number, the number of bits? Okay. So my question to you is that you have to find the suppose okay, I'll be giving you a number n, right? And then you have to check whether in this the binary representation of that number all the bits are alternating or not. For example, if I tell you that if I give you a number 5, right? So the binary representation of 5 is 101. So you can see in this, all the bits are alternating. No bit is repeating, right? But if I have given you 6, then answer would be 110, right? But in this, the ones are repeating, right? In adjacent, the bits are same. So
Yes,
you
sir.
have to return whether true or false. True in the case if all the bits are alternating, else you will return false. Take a deep breath, think, and just tell me, right? You don't need to tell me the efficient approach in the first go. We'll be normally discussing, right? How we'll be going.
Yes, sir. So we will uh, take out the digits, last digit one by one, and check that uh, alternating zero if it is alternating. So we will take a counter also that will
Okay.
check that the digit is zero or one. Uh, if the digit is like not alternating, then we
Mm-hmm.
will break through the loop and display message that it is not an alternating, else we will continue till and the end, and will result that yes, it is alternating.
Okay, suppose if I give you n equal to 5, so can you run your code for me? How will you be computing it?
Yes.
Okay, so okay, tell me verbally like how will you be doing if I give you n equal to 5?
Then if n is equal to 5, then we will first take out the last digit by n, like giving the array n modulus 10, then we will get 1. And
Okay, you will be
from,
doing n modulus 10.
yes sir.
And for getting the last bit, don't you think you will be taking n modulo 2?
Yeah, yes sir.
But you said n modulo 10, right?
So n modulo 10,
And modulo 10
so
will
we
give you
will,
the last digit in the decimal representation.
yes sir.
But I'm talking
So we
about the
will get
bits.
as, okay sir. uh, so then we will uh,
Okay, okay.
convert it into
So
then,
yeah, how will you convert a number into binary? By dividing it by 2, right?
yeah, yes sir.
Okay, so that's how you will be fetching the bit, right? So your
Yes,
logic was correct that you will be fetching the last bit from in the binary representation, and you will have a
yes,
flag function. That was completely correct. I agree with that. Now,
yes
if I
sir.
give you the test case like n equal to 5, so how will you do that?
So like we have to convert it into binary,
Okay,
then then on the operation that I told, that we will perform on the this binary element and a binary our result.
okay, okay. So you will be converting that decimal number into binary, and then you will be
Yes,
normally iterating from the last, checking and
sir.
checking a flag, keeping a flag to check whether the bits are alternating or not.
Yes sir.
Okay, that's correct, Anurag. That's correct. So yeah, so that's it. Now that's about all the DSA round. So I'll be asking you some theory questions, right, on the CS fundamentals.
Yes sir.
Okay. So how much comfortable are you basically in database and all, database management, DBMS?
So, so normally not so
Okay,
good,
no
but
issues. Calm down. Take a deep breath. I think you are pretty much nervous. No issues, right? It's just a mock interview.
yes,
So so my first question to you is, you know that there are two types of memory, right? The main memory and the secondary memory.
yes sir.
So why we created two types of memory, that is main memory and secondary memory? Why not only one type of memory?
Uh, so because operations to perform will be easy by if we use the primary memory, that has features like it is faster than the secondary memory, and it is the operating system that performs the management of these memories, and that is why we use main memory and secondary, because the type of process that we have to run are different, and the use case of these memories are different. Like in main memory we have to
Okay,
perform
Anurag. So basically, you are trying to say that. Okay, first of all, listen to me. Don't just look into the comments, right? Just focus on the camera. Just
yeah,
look towards me, right? Don't focus on the
yeah,
comments. Okay. So
yes,
so you are basically saying that the main memory, through the help of main memory, we can access data faster, right?
yeah,
But
yes,
for the secondary memory, so like hard disk and pen drives and all, right? So
yes,
we can't access the data much faster,
yes,
right? So your logic was correct, and you guessed it right. But if I want to explain it more clearly or more deeper, right, for your information, right? So what basically happened, that suppose we have a CPU, right, that has a processing unit in it,
yes
and
sir,
all the task is performed by that CPU only, right?
yes sir,
Now CPU takes the information or takes the data from some kind of memory, right? So if that CPU demands some, or that processor demands some data, so it will demand from main memory or RAM, because the speed of processor is in million instructions per second, right?
yes sir,
You can imagine how how much faster is it? But the speed of secondary storage is way much lesser.
Yes, sir.
So they can't. So there will be no coherence between them, right? So because the main memory speed is much faster, that's why the CPU only demands only from the RAM, not from the secondary device, right?
Yes.
I hope you understood it. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
you guessed it right, right?
Yes.
The next question to you is that you know that you have must use the MySQL and all, right? So it is basically database management. So what do you think? How this data is stored? You create tables and all stuffs, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Relational.
in what kind is this data stored?
So, so in form of tables in relational database.
Mm, yeah, maybe in RDMMs. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So basically, for visualization, you create tables and all, and when you fire the select query, it shows you the table, right? But in the backend
Yes.
part, behind the scenes, it is not storing in the tables form, right? Logically. So in what form
Yes.
it is storing the data in database behind the scenes?
Uh, like, uh, sir. Sir, in form of it depends on the sir. Like if it is contiguous, then like contiguous memory, then it will be stored contiguously in form of array wood trees or heap or
Hmm.
uh,
You are going in right
and
direction. So basically, you are trying to say
linear.
that it will depend on the type of data we are storing,
Yes, sir.
right?
So yes,
But in database, right, we have no types, right? The whether the data is contiguous because we have primary key and the primary key. Suppose we have a roll number column, so
yeah,
it is not compulsory that the roll number will be in a sorted manner. Have you heard of ever indexes and all?
index. Yes, sir.
So which data structure is used for indexing?
Sir, uh, sir, uh, so B trees are used for like in
Exactly.
yes, sir.
Exactly. So for storing the data also, most of the like SQL softwares and all, like for example Oracle, they use B trees, and many others may use AVL and other kind of data structures, right? So
Yes,
basically,
yes,
B trees is used because with the help of B trees, if you see the diagram of B trees, right, and B plus trees, uh, if you compare it with binary trees, so you will be requiring less number of comparisons to fetch the data, and at the end
yes,
of the day what we want less number of comparisons to fetch the data, right? So with the help of B
yes,
trees we can do that. So the answer is B trees. Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. uh, can you explain me the difference between multi-programming and multi-processing?
Uh, so when more than one processors are involved, and
Mhm.
uh, then the if the fragment they are in like the processing is done into fragments, then it's multi-processing. And when more than uh, uh, like uh, more than one uh, like programming units are
Okay,
involved.
so what is the difference between a program and a process?
Uh, a process is a program in execution, and
Right.
uh,
So now if I ask you what is multi-programming and what is multi-programming?
uh, like a process, if it is an execution, then many process when they are in execution, then it's multi-processing.
Right, you are somewhere around it, right? So
Yes,
basically, what happens is that uh, you told me right correctly that the program in the running state or the execution state is a process, right? So now if I
yes,
extend this logic of yours into multi-programming and multi-processing, so what I will say that multi-programming is just having more than one programs in the ready state,
yes,
right? And
yes,
multi-processing is having more than one processors so that we can execute more than one process at a time,
at a
because we
time.
know that in a single processing CPU, like, right? So
Yes,
we can only execute only a single process at a time,
yes, sir.
right? So this is what the
Yes,
difference between multi-programming and multi-processing. So do you know
yes,
about the different process states?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you tell me about the process state, different process states?
So first is the like the ready state, uh, where
Mm-hmm.
the processes uh, uh, are there to be executed, but they don't actually execute. They do are
Okay, so
they
it's
are
saying
not.
that the programs are put in that job or like in that pool so that they can be executed in the further steps. Correct.
Yes, sir.
The next state.
Then that is uh, uh, ready state, then process state, and when up
Mm-hmm.
it's almost executed, they will be almost executed, but they are going to, but it is the computer is not executing them. Then uh,
Okay, fine, no issues.
waiting, there is waiting also, when
Mm-hmm.
if a program is not executed, then it will be waiting in the waiting state. and
Okay.
and the last one, that is in execution. There is actually a diagram that I'm not able to recognize, sir.
No issues, no issues. So, like, I can imagine because I know the answer, I can imagine what you're trying to say, right? So, you missed the
Yes,
few states and maybe you were not able to explain the other states, right? So, I'll tell you. So, first one is
yes,
the ready state. You told
yes,
me correctly because in the ready state, all the programs are put into that pool. You can imagine that as a pool in which
yes,
we pull the put the all the programs we need to
yes,
execute, right? After that
yes,
comes an running state or an execution state in which we like if we have a single if we have a uniprocessing system, right? We have only one processor, then in that
yes,
case only one program will be moved to the execution state.
yes, sir.
So that will be the process. Now after that, it may happen that that particular process may require and some input output requirement, right? For example, if you have a process and then you demand for some like passing any input in that from the keyboard, so
Yes,
keyboard is an input output, right? So for
yeah,
that, that
yes,
particular process will tell the CPU that I need an input output request, so it will move to the waiting state,
waiting state.
right?
Yes, sir.
Once it so in that case, once it is put in the waiting state, so the execution state is now empty, but we don't want the CPU to be idle. So in that case, that they in this state, the concept of multi-programming comes in. We move the next program in the in the waiting list to the execution state.
Execution
The
state.
last is the termination state, terminating state.
Yes, sir.
Right? So these are all the primary states, and the secondary states are the suspended waiting state, suspended ready queue. So you can learn all about these states because this is the most asked. Being frankly speaking to you, this is the most asked question in on the operating system, right?
Yes,
About
sir.
the process states and all. So you can learn from the Geeks for Geeks website. There it is a beautiful depiction of the complete diagram and a beautiful explanation to that, right?
Okay, sir.
So okay, so I can see from your resume that you have told a lot about Java and all, right? So can you tell me why Java is a platform independent?
Sir, because it can run on, if we write a code in a machine, we can run on any machine that you write one, use anywhere.
Okay,
Like,
so how is it?
because it converts the code into bit like 0 and 1 form, and in the machine language, bytecode, that is called bytecode. It converts the our code into bytecode, and it also has many features like JVM, that like the JVM is involved in converting them.
Okay, so basically you told me summarizing all the other summarize all the like how is it working, right? So
Yeah.
if I explain you, right? So
Yes.
you explained me everything clearly, right?
Yes,
But
sir.
you missed some points which through which like you can explain the interviewer more clearly, right? So
Yes,
what
sir.
basically happens when you compile a Java code through JAVAC,
Ye-
because for
Yes.
C, C++ we have GNU and GCC compiler, right? For similarly for Java we have JAVAC. So when we
Yes,
compile a
sir.
code, the JAVAC converts into an intermediate code that is bytecode,
Bytecode.
right?
Yes, sir.
Now that bytecode is being now we can take that bytecode and like suppose if I compiled my code into intermediate bytecode in the Windows operating system, now I can carry
Yes.
that bytecode and I can move to maybe Linux Mac OS or anything
Yes.
like that. And when if I have JVM present on that particular OS, then JVM will perform the task, and then just in time compiler comes in, that is called JIT. Then it is kind of interpreted kind of thing. So it will take line one by one. So that's why uh, that's how Java will work. And
Yes,
now I have told you all the explanation. So can you explain why Java code takes more time than C++ code to run?
so, so this is the only reason, because it needs sir, because C is more like more medium, like high level. It's not involved to C. It can communicate with the CPU more faster than the Java, because it needs time to convert it into bytecode, and then process it and fetch the results. So
Okay, correct. You get it correct. So now I have a last question, not sort of question, but I just want to hear from you that you mentioned that you have done 2 months internship, I guess, for JP Morgan and Chase, right?
yes, sir.
So can you tell me like what all tech stacks and what all projects you worked on there?
Sir, we actually I did data feeding and data visualization in JP Morgan. The tech stack we used was Perspective. That was the that is a tool of JP Morgan only, and I have also uh, uh, in JP Morgan, the tasks that were given to me were supervised. Like a supervisor was there that told what you have to do, and uh, and the code was also like it was guided. So all we did is using various technologies like React, and Perspective, and like
So basically,
and
you were there a trainee intern, right? If I can
yeah.
summarize.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so I hope your experience at JP Morgan was excellent. So yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's all from my side. Do you have any questions for me, Anurag?
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
can I get the sir report about today, and what I
Okay.
need to do to?
Okay. So feedback. So coming back to the feedback. Apart from feedback, do you want to ask me anything apart
Yes,
from
sir.
feedback? Because I'll be giving you feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sir. How to improve myself, like in coding, and for interviews. Like this is a mock interview that I daily used to watch, like all the mock and previous mock interviews I have
Okay.
been watching.
So you basically
And
want to ask how you can improve yourself as an
yeah,
individual, right? So
yeah, individual.
basically, from a resume, I could have I have uh, saw from your resume and like judged, maybe I can say that your DSA part was uh, lagging in most of the areas. Maybe I can say 60%. So you
Yes,
can practice from the Geeks for Geeks practice website, because
yes,
there are a hell lot of tags there present, right? So
yes, sir.
you can practice from Geeks website, starting from or you can purchase any of our courses, right, for the DSA self-paced course also. So there you can practice starting from arrays, strings and all, because you need to master these basic data structures, right, to solve them. And then I asked you normal questions on graph, right, because in degree and degrees are the some of the basic concepts before starting graph,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So you were not aware of them, so you have to learn all these concepts, and you have a I trust me, you have a lot of wide area to cover from now on,
Yes, yes, sir.
right? So you have to work harder. And apart from that, you still from the point of perspective I see, you are not that much prepared for any for the interview, so you need to work harder yourself. You must have realized by self yourself, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And last thing, that before going on to any interview, right, don't be panic. Just stay yourself, who you are, trust your knowledge, what you have learned so far, right?
yes, sir.
An interview is just normal discussion, right? It's not proving anyone low or anything like that. It's just a normal discussion between two buddies to arrive at a particular solution. That's how we provide hints to you, right? So
Yes,
no need to panic. But frankly speaking, for a betterment, for your future endeavors, you need to work harder on your DSA part. And
yes,
and coming back to the CS fundamentals, right? You have to work on these fundamentals. You have to read those fundamentals, watch videos. Again, I will say that you can come to Geeks for Geeks courses. You can watch the OSNCN, right? So you can buy those courses and watch those videos, because you need to understand those logics or those topics in depth, because you know by them yourself, but you were not able to explain it to me. I saw it in not in
Yeah.
one or two topics, but all the topics. So that's the area where you can improve upon. So all in all, if I say that you are prepared only 40 to 45% for the interview at that correct state, so you have to work a lot harder,
Yes, sir.
right? So all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you so much, both of you. And Anurag, I know that you might see the video again and you might feel that I was very nervous and all this thing, but I think this is a good thing that whatever, like you know that okay, you need to prepare more, and this is just a mock, all right. Whatever
Okay.
comments coming, people are actually supporting you that you were nervous and all. Okay, so everybody, the audience also understands that this is something which happens just to see where you are currently. Okay, Anurag? And I
Yes, sir.
respect the fact that you volunteered for it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So cheer up and just see, look at this video with the perspective. Okay, what else I can do? How can I improve? Okay. That's
Okay, sir.
important. All right. And I'm sure many people, just by watching you under, pressure and nervousness, would understand, okay, they might also go through the same. Right. So they'll also get a lot of insight from you, Narag. So thanks to
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And Dhananjay, obviously, thank you so much, man, for again
No issues,
taking up
sir.
the
My pleasure.
session. And yeah, many people are saying good things about you because you deserve it, I feel.
Thank you so much.
Good as in like you have become an expert in taking these interviews, man. So
Maybe
thank
it
you.
will help me in future, right?
Yeah,
It has
of
been a
course,
lot
man.
of.
I really feel it will.
Okay,
And
thank you so
yeah,
much.
so Anurag, some good comments for you. Anurag is good. DJ sir is God. So people, you know, so it went good. All right. So guys, chill, relax, and thank you so much for joining. And I wish you all the best, Anurag, for your future interviews. And
Yes.
धनंजय, फिर से हम तो अभी और interviews लेने हैं हम सब.
Sure, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
guys, I'll bid you goodbye. और मैं थोड़ा सा
Okay.
audience से बात करता
Okay, sir. Bye bye. Take care,
हूँ. Bye,
Anurag.
bye, Anurag. Bye, धनंजय. Bye. All right, guys. So I hope this session was really intense. I feel that there was actually you can see that because sometimes there is situation in an interview, and I have went through such interviews in my career that where you get really nervous and you can't just know everything. You feel that you know everything, but you just can't communicate it because you are really nervous. So that thing really happens, and definitely this thing can be improved, and whoever watched this video will look after this factor and improve if needed. Okay, so all right. So one thing is code to contribute. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. It will start 1.5 hour coding session. इसमें ये बहुत ज़्यादा important है. इसको please check करना. 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. So इसमें I'll tell you something. So what will happen is that 90-minute coding challenge in collaboration with Give India. Okay, where for each participation we will be sponsoring one meal to a family for a day. So, but if you perform extremely well and make it to the top 50, we'll be sponsoring meals to a family for a week. So do check it out. The link is in the YouTube description. One thing, secondly, also there's a YouTube channel, Geeks for Geeks Practice, where Dhananjay, Piyush sir, and Rohit, they post a lot of questions, competitive programming questions. There's problem of the day segment, all right. So all these things, and there's DSA questions also. So you definitely need to check it out. These two things I just wanted to say. And thirdly, lastly, which is the most important thing, stay home, stay safe, and keep tuning in. I'll come again with such sessions, and I'll see you. And yeah, many people are asking if they want to go through the same experience, how to do that. Guys, you can send in your resume to akshay.bhaskar at geeksforgeeks.org, and the team will get back to you on this. So, Kiti, I hope that answers your question. Many people were asking it in the previous comments also. Yeah, Sahil, akshay.bhaskar, akshay.bhaskar @ geeksforgeeks.org. Send in your resume. We'll get back to you. Thanks, guys, for joining. Take care and have a safe, safe phase. This phase is really crazy. Just you need to be safe and at home. And I wish you all the good luck and strength. Bye, guys. Take care.